Chris, whatever is main topic number 5 today?
Main topic number 5 is coming from Assorted Musings. Hi, John and team. So Doctor Strange trailer dropped. It was cool, but let's talk about what really matters. Sir Patrick Stewart? Is Charles Xavier back? Are you losing your mind as much as I am? That one line in the trailer just jumped Multiverse of Madness to my number 1 most anticipated film of the year. Sorry, Batman. What do you all think? Cheers.
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in Assorted Musings. And one of the trailers that we were expecting to see during the Super Bowl was Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness. Now, there were 2 different versions. One was the spot they aired on television. Then there was the full 2-minute thing that dropped. We're going to kind of focus here on the full 2-minute thing that dropped.
Yeah.
Obviously, my number 1 most anticipated film, I said this earlier in the show today, is The Batman. And it's been The Batman by a fair margin. Like, nothing else was even really close. Obviously, super looking forward to Cyrano, looking forward to The Northman, definitely looking forward to Doctor Strange, Thor, Love and Thunder. But it was The Batman by a mile. I have always said that the job of a trailer, when you boil it down, is to do one thing. The job of a trailer is to take your anticipation level, no matter how high or how low it is, and bump it up a couple of notches. I'm going to go on a limb here right now. This might be the best trailer Marvel's ever put out. You know what? I'm not going to say might. This is the best trailer Marvel has ever produced. And I know a bunch of people are going to scream at their computer monitor saying, the Infinity War and Endgame. No. Those were movies that we may have been anticipating more. We were super excited about. And so they dropped the trailers to them and we all, including me, would get into this fevered pitch. But as a pure trailer, I cannot remember a Marvel trailer ever coming out that took my excitement level for a movie and bumped it up that much higher. Because I was already super excited for Endgame. I was already super excited for Infinity War and Civil War. Expectations were already up here. And I have been excited for Doctor Strange too. I have. But the sheer difference that this trailer has made is astounding. And it's not because of a cheap cameo. It's not even because of the Professor X appearance in it. It's not even because of that. It's because, oh my God, this story looks amazing. And it gives us a sense of the DNA of it. This is going to be twisty. One of you 2 guys was joking I'm going to need to drop acid before I watch this movie. Like when you say we're definitely going to have to do a lot of acid before.
It'll be a micro dose.
But then okay. Rob said accurately, I don't think we're going to need to take acid to go watch this movie. I mean, it just gave all of that sense. It felt like it has broad implications. It felt like it has huge scope. The effects of it look nutty. I mean, Sidorak. It just everything about this trailer. I mean, the whole Zombie Strange thing. That might not even be Zombie Strange. That might just be the effects of a dark entity, but we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. I think right now today, I'm going to say this is the best trailer Marvel's ever given because the one job of the trailer, create that big difference between where your anticipation was and now is. I've never had one lift my anticipation more than this trailer did. I was giddy. I was so happy with what I saw in this trailer. It was exciting. It gave us everything we wanted to see. It seemed to affirm a couple of theories that we had. Because I've been saying for a long time, Wanda's going to be a villain in this show. Now, how she's going to be a villain, whether she's controlled by somebody else or maybe there's another version of whatever. Oh, let me get that on you, Ray. Hold that up right there. Yeah. That's going to be our villain right there.
Right here.
That's going to be our villain right there, or at least one of the villains, I think. At any rate, we're going to go step by step through this trailer in just a minute here. But I just wanted to give my general thought first here that this trailer was uneffing believable. It really was. From the opening moments to the end, I loved it. So let's just go around. Let's just talk our general thoughts quick, and then we'll get into some specifics on the trailer. Rob, let's start over with you. What's your general reaction to this Doctor Strange trailer?
Well, the first thing I thought about was I wish John Schnepp was still with us.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because John Schnepp loved Doctor Strange. But John, I have to say that, I have so many thoughts. This movie, I was wondering, okay, how is it gonna link up with the end of Spider-Man No Way Home? I mean, this movie is not only a direct sequel to Spider-Man No Way Home, but it's dealing with the consequences and ramifications of what Doctor Strange did in Spider-Man No Way Home in a way that it surprised me to understand that what he's doing. I love when Mordo says that line about you can't mess with
desecration of reality.
Desecration of reality will have consequences. And then he's like, he's shackled and he's led by Ultron robots up to the Illuminati to stand. I'm like, I can't even. I'm thinking about this trailer. My mind is racing, John. I am so stoked for what I saw because I was worried that this was going to be like a middling Doctor Strange adventure with lots of cameos. Because aren't cameos fun? This looks like you said, the scope of this story looks epic and gigantic, and the ramifications look huge. And the use of the multiverse and why we're going to see cameos are I think going to be justified. I mean, like you said, John, I was excited about this movie, but I was worried about it. I'm like, I didn't know. This looks to be something that I've wanted to see my whole life, and I didn't quite know how much I wanted to see it my whole life. But I certainly do now.
By the way, I wanted to, you just mentioned how much Schnepp would have loved it. I just thought it'd be fun. I'm going to bring up this picture here. This was me, Anne, Schnepp and Holly at the world premiere of the first Doctor Strange movie. And I remember how absolutely giddy he was going in. As we were out there, we were walking the red carpet and we're getting ready to walk in. And he was like a little kid, man. He was so excited after the movie. He was so giddy about all the stuff we saw. So you're absolutely right. I mean, there's a lot of movies that come out that we wish Schnepp was still here for, but that was when he definitely.
I also want to throw in, this is what, the 28th Marvel movie, the 28th MCU film, and we're 28 movies deep into a franchise, and you can watch something like this that is showing you stuff we haven't seen in the franchise before, maybe a little taste of it in the What If show, and I'm just like, bro, they're Ultron robots. They're Ultron robots leading in Doctor Strange, and you know how much I love Ultron. I couldn't believe this. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
I mean, it was kind of nutty. Ray, let me ask you, what did you think about the trailer? What was your general impressions of it?
You know what? I loved it. I think it looks way over the top. There's a lot of things that I'm seeing in the chat and from you even afterwards are pointing out that just went over my head just because I took it as I just watched it one time. For when you sent me that headline about Patrick Stewart,
Patrick Stewart, yeah.
I didn't even realize his voice was in it. That's how much I was just intrigued by the visuals I was seeing, the zombie Doctor Strange and all that. I have to say that I think all this crazy stuff that's in this movie is going to end after, and we'll go back to normal Marvel. So I think it's one of my most anticipated comic book film now. Yeah. I just feel it's going to be so bonkers. This is a one-time thing. They're going to close up all the ends of all this multiverse stuff.
Well, we got Quantum Mania coming.
Mm-hmm.
But that may or may not be multiple realities, because they've done the. So it's interesting to see. Chris, you had a chance to see. What were your first impressions?
Oh man! Well, first of all, I had to go back and watch it because I missed it when it was playing during the Super Bowl.
Well, that's fine because they only played the short version of the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. So then we get the big one. This looks great. I'm so excited for Wanda to just have her moment too of going, that doesn't seem fair. I'm very, very hyped for her to kind of take on this role.
That's around the bend, Wanda Maximoff. That is, she's insane.
I'm so excited. Wait. I'm so
and
excited
just
for
the way she said it, like, you break the rules, you're a hero. I break the rules, I'm the enemy. That doesn't seem fair. Like, she said that very menacingly.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Lizzie Olsen isn't messing around.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. I love that. And I love that we're bringing in these what if kind of characters and everything too. We're going to see that Doctor Strange. We've got so much happening here. And you're right, Rob. It doesn't look like it's just cameos for the sake of cameos or anything. It looks like this really well-constructed web we've put together of let's tie all this up. Let's really, really explore all these different little things we've been talking about for the last several films and TV franchises.
And you know what else? I was worried that this movie might get away from being a Doctor Strange film.
Exactly.
And it clearly is dealing with what is Doctor Strange, what is the Sorcerer Supreme's responsibility to reality or to the world, to the universe. And it seems like that's exactly what this is. Even Wong, Even Wong
Looks
was like
so badass. In this.
he was. I love Wong. He's like accusatory. He was just like you, and he is the Sorcerer Supreme now.
I'm so embarrassed. The spot we saw during the Super Bowl was the only trailer I watched. There's a longer one,
Dude.
Oh, you didn't watch the 2-minute?
No,
version.
I didn't.
Oh, no wonder a lot of stuff's going
Yeah, a
over
lot
your
of stuff
head.
is flowing. Oh my god, I feel like an idiot
You
now.
were a little. You were a little
I need
focused on
to
the
watch
Bengals.
it after.
You were a little focused on the Bengals.
Yeah.
We'll give you a break on that one. By the way, I wanted to point out like this shot. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying there absolutely is a connection, but this is visually this is very much a callback to Infinity War with what he did to Drax, with what Thanos did to Drax. Remember when he cubed up? So
I
like,
love that.
Yeah.
so I don't know. We were looking. Okay, so let's take a second here. Let's kind of go through the trailer a little bit here, bit by bit. Now, this opening is actually kind of amazing because one of the things they say in the trailer, he says, "I have the same nightmare, or I have the same dream, and then I wake up to the nightmare." It's like the reality. But I heard a great theory. Somebody on Twitter said this, that the theory is that Doctor Strange in his dreams is seeing the death of other universes' Doctor Stranges. And that when we get to this one shot, like I think we have America Chavez in it. So there's this one shot of America Chavez, right? And I think we got Defender Strange here, but he looks dead. Like he looks like he's ripped up. Now remember, America Chavez, she has the ability to kick open portals to other realities, to the multiverse, right? So it looks like this dude's dead. So I read this really interesting theory that the nightmares that Strange is having is actually the deaths of other Doctor Stranges, and he feels it across the multiverse, right? Then, of course, this was cool because what are they called? The living bands? The living bands of Sidorak.
Yeah, the living bands of Sidorak.
Which saw.
He's used, yes.
Doctor Strange has used the living bands of Sidorak in Infinity War, the red bands that he shot out to wrap up Thanos' arm. By the way, in the comic books, if you think you recognize the name Sidorak, Sidorak is the source of the power behind Dr. Charles Xavier's brother,
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. Cain Marco, that's where his power comes from, is from Sidorak. So whether this is the living bands of Sidorak or Sidorak himself, whatever, we clearly see America Chavez here in the thing as well.
How about, when you see this at the beginning of the trailer, the Sanctum Sanctorum kind of in that gray realm and you see New York, it looks like after Thanos snapped people and how they begin to dissolve away and how this city's like reality is being taken away, and it had that Thanos vibe. I don't know quite what that means. Is that one timeline being ended or something? I mean, just those images are insane.
Okay, so let's keep going through this here. So we go from that. Of course, he's waking up as reality. Marvel. Oh, this is interesting here. This shot here.
Love it.
The book at his feet. That's the Darkhold. That's the Darkhold at his feet. So I'm thinking this shot takes place after he goes and sees Wanda. So the guess is he goes, sees Wanda, gets the book from her. It looks like he's looking at various realities. You got the chaos magic going like crazy. Wong telling him you can't control everything. Then again, him seeing the city again. This might be a nightmare of him seeing another reality getting destroyed by something coming on, maybe caused by Wanda, maybe not. Destruction, panic in the streets, all that kind of stuff. Meeting Wanda, coming up to Wanda, destruction coming, yada yada. Get a great shot of a guy who I think is probably the most underappreciated actor in the world right now, and that's Chiwetel Ejiofor as Baron Mordo, where he says the line to him, "Your desecration of reality. I'm sorry, Stephen. Your desecration of reality cannot go unpunished." Which is
so good.
But listen, let's fast forward here a little bit to what is the money shot. Okay? In the comics, now remember, the comics are the comics, the movies are the movies.
Sure.
Just because something is one way in the comics, Kevin Feige has shown us a million times, does not mean that's what he's going to do in the movies. He'll take it, get some inspiration from it, twist it, do it differently. But with it being Patrick Stewart, and by the way, I told you guys, when that story of, Patrick Stewart said Kevin Feige talked to him, but he said no. I'm like, no. That story doesn't come out. Now, I didn't know if it was going to be WandaVision. I didn't know if it was going to be I thought there was a possibility maybe pops up in WandaVision. But I knew in my heart we were going to see Patrick Stewart at one point. I suggested maybe WandaVision. It looks like this was it. But Patrick Stewart says, we should tell him the truth. That sounded more like Dumbledore. Sorry. But anyway, Professor X says, we should tell him the truth. And they only show you the back of his head, this bald, shiny, beautiful head.
But it looks like he's in the Illuminati's chambers.
This is what I'm going to right here. This is the Illuminati. This is the Illuminati. Now, if you go look all the way to the right, the guy walking in, clearly Baron Mordo. Clearly Baron Mordo. The guy on the left, you don't see very clearly, but the way he's sitting and the way it looks like there's something kind of around the neck, I think is Black Panther. I'm going to say I think that's Black Panther sitting there. Then on in between Strange and Mordo walking in, I have no idea who that is. From the silhouette, you can clearly tell it's somebody with long hair. I've heard the theories that maybe it's Thor, but when you look at the arms, they look a little bit too small. So it might be another type of version of somebody else. Some people are speculating that because we see the Ultron robots, that we're going to get a Tony Stark from the multiverse in this. I've been telling you guys forever, Robert Downey Jr. will be back. Maybe this will be it. Maybe not here. Maybe something else. Maybe Tom Cruise. Who knows? But there's also there's two other empty seats. Because we see 2 on his left, 3 on his right, and we know Patrick Stewart's in his wheelchair somewhere in the middle. So there's still 2 empty chairs unaccounted for here. So could it be a Black Bolt? Could it be Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic?
Oh, I think for sure.
Are we about to see Mr. Fantastic? Because I want to remind everybody.
And Namor. Mm-hmm. We're going to see Namor and Reed Richards.
Too.
Maybe yes, maybe no. But I'm going to tell you this. I told everybody for years when they said X-Men are coming around, I said, Kevin Feige said 5 years. Feige said 5 years. Well, guess what? Since they announced that Disney was going to try to take over Fox, been about 5 years. And so this could be amazing, but the damn thing doesn't stop there. We keep going, and we get a lot of destruction, a lot of madness. Again, we saw the jigsaw puzzleness of it. We get the dark Doctor Strange from the What If saying, what is it he says? It's about to get weird or
something like
I
that.
can't remember exactly.
Let's get weird.
Let's get weird. Let's get
No, I'm just saying that's workaholics, I think.
Yeah. Let's take off our pants. I don't know what he's going to say there, but we get more into the explosions, the chaos magic, but then what I consider to be the other money shot.
Oh,
Besides Patrick Stewart,
This moment.
the other thing I've been saying for a long time, Wanda's going to be the villain in this, or at least a villain.
She looks amazing in this shot. I haven't even seen this
scary as
trailer.
hell.
Yes.
When she says to him, you break the rules and you're called a hero. Then we see that statue of Doctor Strange.
Ugh.
I break the rules and I'm the enemy.
It's like the calm hurricane look.
Doesn't seem fair. So I'm going to F y'all up. I mean, I don't know if that was going to be the next. I think that's literally
Well, then there's that
That's the
great
next-
so I'm
Sam
going to F
Raimi,
y'all up.
the push into her eye, the camera.
Oh, the blood shot on
yeah,
the
I mean,
eye.
remember, Sam Raimi, Evil Dead Sam Raimi, not just Spider-Man, but I'm talking Evil Dead 1, 2, and Army of Darkness Sam Raimi, Darkman Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi is making this. So this, I'm expecting a lot of camera pyrotechnics. I mean, this looks like it's him. It looks like Sam Raimi is uncut, and I'm ready to snort it all because it is unbelievable.
Come on, keep going through the trailer. Come on, I want to see more.
All right, then we go back to the trailer. And then another great money shot where Wanda literally touching the face of the other Wanda. Now, there's 2 different possibilities here. Some people think this is 2 Wandas. I think there's another possibility here that this is a vision, that it's the one reality of Wanda looking at what she becomes. I mean, I'm not saying I'm putting stock in either of those. I'm just saying there are 2 different predominant theories where you've got like Wanda looking down on herself, touching, and she looks like she's been through the ringer. Her face is beaten up a little bit, going through some war. And then, of course, I believe we saw a shot of Mordo and Strange fighting it out. Oh, God, Chiwetel Ejiofor is the man.
Dude.
I love this dude so
great.
much. So you get some of that. Again, what's the name of the tentacle creature again? I can't keep forgetting the one he's fighting in the streets. I can't remember the name. Guys in the live chat, what's the name of the I forget the name of the tentacle creature that he's fighting in the streets. But I think that's Wong fighting him. I think it's everybody fighting. I think we see Doctor Strange bring up the buzzsaw, but then I think the one diving in to attack him, Shuma Gorath. Thank you, everybody in the live chat. Thank you very much. So I mean, so this looks awesome. It's a very James Gunn looking creature, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
It really is.
Right out of Starro kind of
Yeah.
thing. And then again, third money shot. Zombie Doctor Strange.
Woo!
Yeah, come
That
on.
looks so.
Harking back to Infinity War, and that whole
Now, whether or not this is literally a zombie Doctor Strange, or whether or not this is what some kind of dark universal energy that is a part of this movie is doing to him, whatever. But for now, we'll just call it Zombie Doctor Strange. Let's bring him back up again. And of course, all the arms of Doctor Strange that come out again. Look at that. Look, if all you did on Super Bowl, okay? If all you did on Super Bowl was bring up a screen, says, "Hello, everybody, I'm Kevin Feige." And then for 25 seconds, he says, "For the next 25 seconds, I'm going to scratch my ass." And Kevin Feige turned around and for 25 seconds of the Super Bowl, just scratched his ass. And then for the next final 5 seconds, they just brought up this image. I would have been sold. Like this image in and of itself is so freaking unbelievable and adrenaline inducing. And it just looks amazing. A little bit of Harry Potter there. He's got the, what the frick do you call the things? The Dementors.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange releasing the Dementors flying around.
A little Ursula in there too.
A little bit of
from
Ursula
Little
there, yeah.
Mermaid.
A little bit of that in there. I mean, it literally could have been Kevin Feige scratch his ass for 25 seconds and then go, "Oh, by the way, let me show you this," and they just brought up that. I'd be like, "We're
Can't
ready
wait to
go."
see this trailer.
there is. As I watched this, John, there was a problem. I was going to talk to you about this today. We're going to have to renegotiate our deal because there's going to be so many hot toys made from this movie.
You're gonna need more
I'm
money.
going to need a lot more money.
Big raises.
I'm going to need a lot more money. I just was counting up how many hundreds of dollars in hot toys that are going to be made from this film because they announced that they have the rights to do these, and I'm like, there must be at least 50.
Buy
Hot
that
toys
house.
By the
get
way,
those hot toys.
Yeah. I don't need the house. Come on.
Estigo in the live chat is saying, "I need the Kevin Feige ass scratching figure." So there you go. It's
It's going to be a big collectible.
Do it, Hot Toys. Kevin Feige just scratching his ass, still making $1 billion at the box office.
I just think it's fascinating that we can still get this excited about a Marvel movie. And it's a testament to what they've done with this franchise.
It really is. Let me go around the circle here. Let me start with you, Chris. We just kind of went through the trailer, and I'm sure there's probably some big moments I'm still forgetting. But what was the moment that you walked away with it? Like, what's the moment that stuck with you as you walked? The first thing that comes to your mind that happened in this trailer that's a standout, shining moment for you.
It's that creepy ass Wanda line. I
Yeah.
was like, "Yes, bitch, yes." And then there was a little blurb where I went, "Oh, Rachel's getting married to someone else." Okay.
We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah. But I went, "Oh, okay," because Rachel McAdams was very underutilized in the original film, I think. Although we had that wonderful scene that's directly from the comics with her, so that was lovely. But Wanda's the one who just kind of shines in this for me, and I'm so excited to see Steve and her just like duke it out, but also be allies. What is happening? I don't know what's happening, and I'm so intrigued. I want to know more.
Rob, over to you. What's the moment that stood out to you the most?
I love that whole New York skyline, like the Empire State Building. I say it's getting snapped, but the sheer size and scope of all of this, and Camertage or whatever being destroyed, and who's the dude with the horns, and what realities are we in? And I just, there's so much stuff, but I loved seeing the Sanctum Sanctorum in the beginning, the lone Sanctum Sanctorum. The first time you see it's disintegrating and it's blowing away in the wind. I mean, I was in from the get on this because, man.
I have a question. Did we see any of the characters that were in that Marvel Legends set? Remember the one which we reported?
Yes, well, the Minotaur won. So that guy, but that's the only guy. Well, and the Defender Strange, but it looks like he might be dead. So
But
the
no
Defender's-
none of the other guy.
Not
Okay,
that we
just
could
curious.
see. I mean, unless it was implied and we didn't notice it. But so that's going to be an interesting keep its eye on too.
Do you all have an over/under on Namor appearing in this, since we had that kind of allusion to it in Endgame, or to him rather?
I'm going to do I didn't think he was alluded to in Endgame.
The earthquake under the ocean. You don't think so?
Mentioning water, I don't think
That's Eternals, baby. Come on.
Yeah, I don't.
That was
Eternals. I thought it was him.
I don't think that was a Namor.
I got excited about him.
thing.
But
I'm gonna put
that
18% because I still, just to be clear, I have not heard from anybody official that all the licensing red tape with Universal has at all been completely cleared up. So I'm still not convinced, but I think it's possible. So I'm going to go as high as 18% that we may see Namor.
Okay.
I would be surprised if the characters they introduce, because they can have different variants. I mean, if Tom Cruise appears as Tony Stark, whatever, or Robert Downey Jr. comes back. But here's a great opportunity. Like, let's just say that John Krasinski is cast as Reed Richards. Now, what if they don't say anything? He's just there. Now, anyone who's a comics fan knows the Illuminati, and there's just the Reed Richards is John Krasinski. People would lose their mind.
Oh, yeah.
I would lose my mind.
Oh,
and
yeah.
if whoever Namor is, and if they're going to recast a new Black Panther, that they're just all there, and this is their way. How do you outdo? Marvel is coming off of Spider-Man No Way Home, which gave us Tobey Maguire, which gave us Andrew Garfield, and this is their next movie, which is a direct sequel to Spider-Man No Way Home. How do they give us something that, because this movie looks so cool and so, like you said, John, it just looks like a really great, fascinating story. You know me, I'm all about characters and stories. But if they were to just drop these things, just like, yep. I mean, talk about mic drops on I mean, this movie could be full of mic drops, and they're setting up the rest of the next 10 years, and we don't even know it.
By the way, I should just mention here quickly, I did read another theory online where the common theory right now, including me, is that the big problem here is the spell that he cast to help Peter in Spider-Man No Way Home, right? I have read a theory that won't be the case. Because you hear Strange say, I did what I had to do to try to protect the world. Well, that's not why he cast the spell with Peter. He was just trying to help out Peter. That's all he did. The theory I read was that just as Doctor Strange is seeing the deaths of all of his other counterparts, that Wanda herself becomes the spark that leads to the destruction of all the other realities. And that she's actually the one that's causing all this and not Doctor Strange. Again, I'm not saying I'm buying into that, but that's very interesting to me too.
I like that too. Her grief, it's her, which then again continues on from WandaVision. Which
How great was it that she referenced Viz?
Oh, it was great.
Viz used to say, "Oh, my heart." Just her saying Viz, it just made my heart kind of sad.
Aww.
I mean, I do think that, there's got to be some kind of a connection, because he did cast this spell for Peter and it went awry, and he had to fix it at the end of the movie, and you can't just do that.
Yeah, so it's
It's
going to be interesting to see what they do. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What did you think about this Doctor Strange trailer? For me, I'll go on record. I think it is the best trailer. When you understand what I believe the job of a trailer is, this is the best trailer I think Marvel's ever put together. I have never had my enthusiasm level for a Marvel property change as much as it did with this trailer. Anyway, guys, what did you think of it? Whatever you're thinking, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts.